Okay, so we've done a few of these before. This is pseudocode. As you know, pseudocode is like a made-up programming language in itself. So remember, pseudocode, you've got your repeat loop until, and then a condition. You've got a for loop where you need to have a next. So for example, if it was for ZZ in range 0 to 4, it would be next ZZ. But remember, we don't have for in range, it'll be for ZZ arrow, and then what the range would be, so 1 to 35 if you want to do it 35 times. And then you have your while x is greater than for do and while. That's how you do your loops. You then have your ifs, which are normal, like if x is greater than 2, but then you have end if, and then you have your then. That's pseudocode. We'll talk about that more as we go along. So we've got some mistakes here. I think there's 3 mistakes or 4 mistakes. Let's just look at the original paper. 4 mistakes. Give it a go first, and then I will do this with you guys. Okay, so pause the video, do it yourself. Okay, so we're dealing with arrays, name and mark. So if I just do this, name equals and mark equals. Let's make this a bit bigger. Okay, nice and simple so far. And we're going to input the names and marks of 35 students. So I'm just going to underline that 35. And I'm going to go straight to this and see if it's going to do it 35 times. Yes, it is, 1 to 35. So that's good. So already that's sorted out. The highest mark awarded is then found, and the number of students with that mark is counted. Okay, so in my head, if someone gets 99, and that's the highest mark, and let's say 4 people have got it, it would have 4 students. So it'll do, at the end, it'll display 99 is the highest mark, and 4 students have got 99. That's what we're going for. So let's have a look. We've got our output, please enter student name, input name count. That is fine. So it's going to directly put the name into array position 1 to begin with. So if it was J, that's where it'll go. Please enter student mark. That's fine. Input, it's not fine. Input mark count, not counter. So we found our first mistake. So let's put 99. If mark count, so 99, equals the highest mark. Now, what's highest mark? Well, it tells us right at the beginning, this is highest mark. So it starts off at 100. That means that, by default, that is our highest mark. So that's the same as me saying to you guys in your mocks, the person with the highest mark is 100%, before I've marked the papers. And let's imagine, I don't know, Liam Chisholm, just made up that name, Liam Chisholm, scores the highest in our class of 99%. He didn't actually get the highest mark in total, is 100%. But that's not fair, because Liam actually did get the highest mark. But because I said it's 100 to begin with, no one's going to beat it unless they get 100. So really the highest mark to begin with should be 0. That should be our highest mark to begin with. So that's another change. So nobody's got the highest mark. So the first person we enter in is J. And let's imagine they got 79, not 99. That would be our highest mark to begin with. So I'm going to put 79 here. If someone else gets higher than that, then they've obviously beaten it. Okay. So if 0 is the highest mark. So if mark count, which is 79, equals highest mark. No, it doesn't. Highest mark is 0. So we're not going to run this code yet. So let's look at this one. If mark count 79 is bigger than the highest mark, then mark count equals the highest mark. No. What we want to do, if it equals the highest mark, is do it so that, let's have a variable called highest mark will equal 79, and we then want the highest marked student to go up by 1. So at the moment we've got J, so who's got 79, so let's have highest marked student or something like that equals 1. And the next time it loops, if someone else gets 79, it's say O, and they get 79, I want the highest marked student to become 2. But let's have a look and see if it does that. This is saying put our highest mark into mark count. No, this is saying put where we've got a highest mark, which to begin with is 0, remember, because we haven't actually changed it yet, and put it into here. So it'll change that to 0. No, we want it the other way around. We want to put this 79 into highest mark. So what we need to do is do this the other way around. So it should be our highest mark will equal mark count. We then want, and this is basically the same as next line, highest marked students equals 1. Well, okay, if that's the case, we've got J, 79. So now that we fixed it, we're on 1. So let me just do the 1 here. That's great. The next time it runs, we've got O, also 79. So if that's the case, let's see what happens next. So let's imagine that we've entered in O, who's got 79. So we input name O, input name count, which is 2, 79. If mark count, which is 2, so we're looking at this one, is equals to highest mark is 79 now. Yes, it does equal. Then highest marked students equals highest marked students minus 1. So that's a mistake. It shouldn't be minus 1, it should be plus 1. So now we've got 2 students with the highest mark. If we've got if we loop again, and let's put in a new name, let's call them F, and they get 90. It runs this. If mark count 3, because we're on F now, equals highest mark, it doesn't. 90 does not equal 79 at the moment. So we do this one. If mark count is greater than highest mark, yes it is. So put the mark count into highest mark. So really, this disappears, and we're going to put in 90. So no longer is it 79. It'll then reset the highest marked students to become 1, because so far we've only got 1 student with 90. So that's fine, that works perfectly. At the end, so we do have a next count, there's no errors here, that is fine. We'll make count go up by 1. There are highest marked students with highest mark of highest mark, but we're missing what the highest mark is as well, so we need to add that to our output. So I'm going to do comma, and there are, no, the highest mark is and then the variable highest mark, because it says very clearly, if we look at this, both of these values being the mark the highest mark and the highest mark students, i.e. how many students have got the highest mark, should be outputted. But it's only outputting this variable here, highest mark, students. Well, actually, I like that's a booby on my end. I didn't see this bit. So that bit is actually right. It does say it here. My bad.